How to install Klacci iF-01 series cylindrical smart lock. Installation parts and tools are in the box. Please do not install the battery before installing the lock. Additional tools needed for installation. Check the thickness of the door before attempting installation. Please check the door backstep for installation. Use the marking on the template to drill. Use screws to fix the latch and strike. Now you can install the chassis and the outside trim on the exterior side of the door. The side with the words "Door Center" are the outer side. 6-pin wire terminal heads are facing outwards and stored into the slot on top of the chassis. The outer nut has a notch facing outward. Screw the nut into the chassis. Adjust the distance when screwing so that the center line of the chassis is aligned with the center line on half of the door thickness when the nut is pressed onto the door panel. Next, put the outside trim into the chassis. Before placing it, place the outer nut with the notch facing up. Check if the wire can be placed vertically into the recess. The outside trim is placed in the chassis. You can use the pin to pull the wire into the nut notch to ensure that the wire is not pressed by the nut. The chassis is connected with the outside trim's wire terminal and placed flat in the recess of the bottom plate. The wire cover is aligned with the tab and pressed down into the bottom plate. The chassis and the outside trim are installed. Next, install the chassis in the outer bore hole with the door in the open position. Squeeze the upper wire to ensure that the wire is inside the recess to prevent wire scratches. Please check if the chassis is engaged with the end of the latch. Check if the latch can be properly retracted. Next, install the inside liner. When installing, wire it through the center hole of the liner plate into the half moon hole. Wire protector is inserted into the recess. The inner nut thread is raised toward yourself. Swing through the wire and screw into the lock. Use the wrench to lock the nut. Use screws to lock the liner plate. The mainboard assembly kit snaps onto the inside liner. The wires above and below the chassis are respectively inserted into the terminal block of the mainboard assembly. The wire above the chassis is pressed into the card slot of the mainboard assembly. Next, install the inner trim cover, and there is a tenon on the inside of the inner trim cover. When installing, please fit the inner trim cover from the top to the bottom and then flatten it on the door panel. Use screws to secure the cover. Install the 4 batteries. After the batteries are placed, you will hear one beep, indicating that the door lock has been successfully powered. Please note that this product must use 4 AA alkaline batteries. Place the battery cover on and lock it. After installing the inside lever, turn the lever to check if the latch retracts. Install the outside lever. Using the control key, insert the cylinder into the lever. Next, use the manual key. Check unlock function. Next, use the Set Hold Open mode to check whether the chassis electronic function is working properly. First, turn the outside lever. If you can't turn the lever and retract the latch, that indicates that the door is currently locked. Press and hold the inner hold open button until a short beep, and the inner green light flashes once to activate the hold open mode. At this point, turn the outer handle to retract the latch to indicate that your door lock is working properly. After the inspection is completed, press and hold the inner privacy button until there are 2 short beeps and the inner outer light is off. Door lock return locked state deactivate hold open mode.